With each day that passes by, we are getting very close to the end of filming for Star Wars Episode 9 by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio as they get closer to the end of principal photography. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, we do know that JJ and Chris are doing amazing things for the characters of Kylo, Rey, Finn, and Poe Dameron, and that not only that, they will also be giving them scenes where they will all work together as a team to take on the First Order and Supreme Leader Ren. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with one of the set designs, where both Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley, Oscar Isaac, and John Boyega will all be taking part in a scene for one of the final sequences in the third act of the movie. Adam Driver is set to shoot a sequence on set for one of the final scenes in the third act of the film that will involve Adam to be placed in the cockpit of a large shuttle that will wreak havoc over a Resistance base. It is described to be more chaotic than any destruction scene in a Star Wars land battle before, with Kylo taking out Resistance vehicles on the ground. Many pyrotechnics will be used to emulate explosions. It's also described that the Knights of Ren are on board of the shuttle, taking control of blasters and shooting missiles from the ship, taking out X-Wings and E-Wings over the surface of the planet. Another sequence involves Daisy Ridley as Rey, getting people to safety underground. It's also described that a similar CGI sequence is set to happen from what fans saw in Rogue One with the destruction of Jeddah. It will require many CGI animators to complete the shot that has to do with one of the new First Order super weapons that transforms the surface of a planet. Lastly, it's described that both Oscar Isaac, John Boyega, and Daisy Ridley will team up taking out some of Kylo Ren's new red Stormtroopers. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about this that are really getting me excited about the final sequences of Episode 9 in the third act. Now, the third act is really action-packed. It's going to have a lot of action sequences in this movie that I'm sure is really going to raise the adrenaline of many of the different audiences out there that will go ahead and see this movie. So, first things first, this new shuttle design that is coming into play here in Episode 9, where both Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren will be on board of it, taking out many vehicles on the ground that belong to the Resistance. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this really does sound like something very similar to what we saw on Geonosis in Attack of the Clones. And I'm talking about the level of action and chaos that's going on in a single scene. It sounds like it's going to be something like that, to a certain level at least. So the Knights of Ren are still alive, from what it seems, in the third act of the movie, where they're on board of the same exact shuttle that Kylo Ren is piloting here, where the Knights of Ren are actually using a lot of the gunners and blasters to take out many different Resistance crew fighters and Resistance vehicles that are on the ground fighting the First Order. Now, the next thing that I do want to go over that's really raising my interest in this movie is that a lot of pyrotechnics will be used to emulate a lot of explosions in this sequence to create the chaos. But not only that, alright, this is where things get interesting, is that Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren will be taking out X-Wings and E-Wings over the surface of the planet. Again, we've been hearing about these E-Wings more and more now by J.J. Abrams, Chris Terrio, and crew, and how they want to really introduce new ship designs in the final Skywalker saga film, which honestly, I think is very ambitious. I think that's a good thing to do. Now, the next thing that I want to go over is the sequence where Rey is actually going to be bringing a lot of the Resistance fighters to safety. Now, this sounds like this is all connected to the underground battle sequence that we've been hearing about for so very long now. So Rey taking these fighters underground, underneath the surface of the planet, most definitely connects to the major sequence to be shot through one of the super weapons that belongs to the First Order that transforms the surface of a planet. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we've been hearing about this a little bit more this month or so, that these super weapons are probably going to be Disney's version of the World Devastators. In case you guys have no idea what the World Devastators are, go ahead and look them up. They are very interesting in design, and when it comes to the power that they can actually wield, I gotta say, I mean, it is something different than that of the Death Star and Starkiller base, so I do gotta give J.J. Abrams that. As far as another super weapon or super weapons coming into play here for Episode 9, how would you guys really feel about that? Now, the last thing that I do want to go over is how both Rey, Finn, and Poe team up to take on Kylo's new band of Red Stormtroopers. So these Red Troopers, we haven't really heard too much about them, but they will be a major part in Episode 9. This is, of course, a part of Kylo Ren's new order, which honestly, I am really digging it. I love how Kylo Ren is changing things up as he is the ruler of the First Order, or whatever the new order is going to be called in this movie. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about all of this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.